Hi everyone, this is Joanna. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by, spending time with me today. I hope everyone is having a fabulous day. Today the project is kind of a playoff on the project that I made about a month ago, and it was this pendant right here. I used translucent clay and pearl clay to create this one, this particular project. Today I'm going to do something a tiny little bit different because I realized that translucent clay actually absorbs the ink, the alcohol ink, in a different way than the pearl did. So if I'm going to do this project the way I think that it should come out, we should get a really nice penetration of alcohol ink into the clay. So I'm really curious to see if this is exactly what's going to happen. So you guys are on the journey with me at this point. So I already rolled out the clay right here, and that's my translucent piece. I'm going to use a piece of white clay instead for the inside instead of the pearl. So we have a piece of white, and I'm going to just roll it up, and you can see how this is how thick the translucent is. So let me just roll this up inside, and we're going to create a little cane. Now it is a little bit warm where I am, so what I'm going to do is I will take it and I'm going to put it in the freezer just for a few minutes so that it will be, nice and hard, so I can actually work with it a little bit easier, because right now everything is just too darn warm. So anyways, let me throw this in the freezer. Now that's how it looks right here. I'm going to put it in the freezer for a few minutes, and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, so now my little cane is nice and cool, and it will be much easier for me to work with it. So let me show you how it looks inside. Okay, there you go. That's how it looks. So now I'm going to take, just as I did before, I'm going to take my little knife, X-Acto knife, and I'm going to make 5 slits. It's almost like I want to create a flower. I'm going in pretty far, because when the alcohol ink is going to go in, I want to make sure that it penetrates it. Maybe I should just mark where I want them first. So here. So maybe I'll make more. There you go. Alright, so now I'm going to make another slit right here. And these few slits I'm going pretty deep in, because like I said, I want the alcohol ink to get in there pretty good, because I kind of would like to get, make it look like a flower. So let's see how that's going to work for me. There's 2 more. There you go. I love this little X-Acto knife. I just picked it up from the Dollar Tree, and it comes with a bunch of little blades. I mean, look at all this. And they are great. It really, they have great products. And then I'm going to do what I did last time. I'm just going to go and make just like little slits everywhere on top of that. For the alcohol ink, I'm going to use one of the brighter colors, actually, and that is Wild Plum. I love that color. Usually I'm not crazy about brighter colors, but Wild Plum, I love that color. And Wild Plum is going in. Beautiful color. Beautiful color. Beautiful. So I'm just gonna make sure that it goes into all those little lines that I just cut, and I'm going to drench it, and then I'm going to let it dry. So there you go. I'm going to leave that to dry. Meanwhile, I'm going to grab a little piece of translucent right here, And you know what, I don't even need that much of it, really. I'm just gonna leave it, you'll see what I'm gonna use it for, but I'm gonna add some alcohol ink to that, and I'm going to blend it, work it in. It's interesting because as you start adding alcohol ink to your clay and you know changing colors as we did in the past videos, the consistency of the clay is changing slightly, so this one is becoming much softer already. So I'm gonna try to get to that color as much as I can, because I'm really lately into making borders, you know, the smeared borders on my pendants. I think that they look so beautiful. It's such a beautiful touch to your pendant. So this is what I'm going to use, this little piece of translucent. So as I'm working on it, we're gonna wait for this to dry completely, and I will see you guys just in a few minutes. Ta-ta! Alright, so I added some alcohol ink to my translucent, and you can see that it's nice and it's already incorporated. It doesn't stain. This one is dry or somewhat dry. Yeah, it's pretty much dry, but it is so warm here that I have to keep on putting it in the freezer for a few minutes, and then I take it out and back in the freezer because it gets too warm working with my hands and stuff like that. So let's see what is going to come out of this. So let's look at this and see. Oh, look at that. That is nice. I was really expecting more. I really went deep when I was cutting it, so I was really hoping to get deeper grooves, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slice it thinly, and I'm going to place it on my white clay right here. And then I will continue on, and then if you want to show more of the red borders, then you want to maybe slice it a little bit thicker, because then when you start rolling it, those borders will pop out on you. Oh, I like those little designs, very nice. Okay, so here I go. I'm gonna go to town, cutting, slicing, and placing. And let's see what's going to come out of that. Okay, so what I was trying to tell you guys, and maybe I didn't explain myself right, is when you have thicker cuts and then you start rolling it out, or you know, I've been doing it with a piece of paper here, you have those bigger marks that are created, and then you have thinner marks when you have thinner pieces. So you can totally, you know, you can totally play with that as well. I kind of like how this one is. You can really see that inside that because it's translucent and stuff. So let's just cut out a pendant and throw it in the oven, and I am going to continue on. It definitely does not look the way I expected it. I still like it, but I imagined that it was going to absorb more of that alcohol ink, and honestly it really didn't. But it's still going to be a pretty pendant, so let me find a good spot for it. Let me see. Where is it that I like it the best? And I'm gonna cut it and throw it in the oven. And this is the reason why I'm using tiles when I'm playing with alcohol inks. You give the tiles a quick spray with alcohol and look how clean and beautiful they come out. Alright, so the pendant is out of the oven, and you can see how neat it looks. You can see how it became translucent, looks fabulous. And I also told you that I'm kind of addicted to making those borders, the smeared borders. I think that they just look so awesome and amazing, and I just love them. So this is the wild plum that I just translucent with the wild plum that I just colored it with with alcohol ink, and I'm going to go in and create another border just like in my previous video. So I'm just gonna apply that here, make sure that it sticks, and then I'm gonna start smearing it just so that it attaches itself. And I'm gonna keep on going, and if it goes a little bit on the pendant, that's fine. This is translucent, so there's gonna be a smear, but we should be able to see some stuff poking through there as well. So just go around your pendant and create this neat little border. Okay, so I think I'm ready to throw it in the oven. I'll sand down the surface a little bit after it's all baked. I just need to scrape off some excess here wherever I see it. But make sure that your corners are nicely covered so it's not going to look awkward after it's all baked. And I know that right now it looks like two different colors, but I'm hoping that the colors will look a little bit more similar once they're baked. So in the oven it goes. Okay, so now the pendant is out of the oven, and you can see that the colors are so much better together now that the entire pendant has been baked. So what I usually do after I'm done, well, actually let me show you how different it is from this is the color that went in the oven, and this is when it's all done. So now I'm gonna grab some water, and it's nicely cool. I baked it only for 15 minutes because it was just a very thin layer that I had to bake, so I didn't have to put it for half an hour. And now I have a very fine paper. This one is 1200, but anything between 800 to 1200, that's what I'm using, whatever I have on hand. It doesn't take that much off, so if you want to shape it more, you probably want to use, this one is I think 200, so you would want to go, and for shaping you would definitely want to use something a little bit thicker. So now I'm just gonna go in with the thinner, with this 1200 paper, and make sure that there are no bumps and everything is nice and smooth. And actually I think the 800 would have been much better for what I need to do. So let me grab that really quick. Okay, so this one is a little bit more coarse, so I'll be able to take off more, but I'm not going to be taking out a crazy amount. So I'm just going to put it in the water. It's just easier to get rid of any excess, and you can just sand it down as much as you want, or you don't want, whatever you want to do. You can see that it comes off pretty nicely. I want kind of to have a nice blend, so I don't want to take too much off. The backing is nice, it looks really nice, it's clean. I will put a varnish on it, just a regular satin varnish. However, on top, of course, as always, I'm going to put resin. Not always, but usually I do. And this is the one that I use. It's from Michael's, and you have to mix it very, very well. and as you're mixing it, you will be introducing a lot of bubbles to it. So after you apply, and you try to apply a thin layer, ooh, there's a little pink something there. You want to pop the bubbles with a little lighter here, which I'm keeping on hand. So let me show you how I do that. Now, this is the smallest amount that I was able to mix, and the reason why I'm mixing it is because I'm taking the same amount of one bottle and another bottle. So we have the two different things here going on. So I don't want to put too thick of a layer. I'm just going to go and apply a thin layer. It's not necessary to go crazy with it. When you add too much, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get the drips. Now for the drips, the mat that I'm using, the silicone mat, is absolutely amazing. I love it because you can just, after it's the resin dries on it, it comes right off. I'm gonna show you guys that in just 1 second, but you can see that the resin itself already pops the color. Although, as you know, I'm a fan of resin on metallic clays, this definitely brings out beautiful, beautiful colors of this alcohol ink right here. So, and if you're gonna have any drips whatsoever, it's not a big deal. After it's also all nice and dry, you can always go and sand it down. But it's better not to deal with those. So here I am. I'm gonna go. You have all those bubbles that popped out. You don't want to spend too much time on top of the resin because you can burn it, and it's obviously not a good thing. But you're gonna smell it when you do burn it. But I'm gonna let it sit for 24 hours. But probably in another 15 minutes or so, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna pop more bubbles because they are going to come up. Now, as they are sitting there and drying, I always put plastic container on top, because although I know that your guys' place is way cleaner than mine, I know for sure, there's always so many dust particles in the air that you really cannot control it, and this really is going to save your piece. Because I tell you that it really is not a cool thing when you have a little dog hair or cat hair getting stuck in the resin and get dry, and you can't do anything about it, and destroys your piece. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you like the results. I know that the technique was what we used just a few weeks ago, but hey, completely different pendant, different look. So I hope you guys still enjoyed it. Till next time, my friends, thank you so much for watching. And if you do like it, or if you did like the video, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot, guys. Till next time.